What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm your host, as always, Evil Eddie, and I had to do something for this stream, guys. Usually, I get comments from people saying I could be biased, and in this case, I think it was only right because the person who we have joining us right now, Connor Berry, has been following Pure Evil MMA for a while now. I always see him popping up on my Instagram, and I think it's fair to get his side of the story. And last night you guys heard from Joe Giannetti, who you might remember from The Ultimate Fighter season 27. If not, you can check out the interview down below here or at pureevilmma.com. But we had Connor Berry, who was in this fight, and it was very controversial. Flow Combat even posted something about it. So Connor, just catching fans up with everything. Apparently you were winning the first and second round. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say so, man. You know, it seemed to be a close fight. You know, I was having a good time in there. I was having fun, and you know, in the third round, he ended up getting to a point where he could have taken my back. So I had my arm kind of hanging out there, and I tried to go pull him back into guard, and I made the mistake. I got caught in a triangle. And the triangle, like I said, it was a dangerous position for me. I knew it was a dangerous position, and I also knew that I'm not tapping. So I wasn't tapping the armbar. I'm not tapping the choke, and you know I wasn't going to tap him. He was going to have to put me out, or else you know I wasn't going to go out like that. So
now, to be fair, he said that backstage the ref came up to you, and we know this ref. He does a lot of cage stuff. I'm sure you've been ref by him before. I've never seen any bad calls really that he's made. But in this case, Joe told me that backstage he said to both of you, you know, I know where you guys are right now, and both of your careers. I know how much this fight really means to you. I'm not going to stop this fight unless you know I really see it needed to be stopped. Now, in this fight, you know, Joe gets criticized a lot for not landing the most powerful strikes, causing a lot of damage. But to some people might say that you were stuck, you weren't able to, you know, protect yourself. But you were also saying, I was checking out, you know, your responses. You said that you were just about to slip out, like slip your neck through. Bring us through that exact moment right there, right before the fight's called off.
Okay, so again, like I was in the triangle for a while. I was just all these warning signs in my brain were going off, and I was doing everything I could for that last defense. You know, I knew I was in there, and it was a tight triangle, and I had to do whatever I could to get out. So I ended it off multiple times. He kept chaining some submissions together, you know, and I was just putting roadblocks in them. I was just blocking them, one thing and the next thing. I ended up rolling out where he almost went for an armbar for a little bit, and then I think he knew I wasn't going to tap out, and he abandoned the armbar. So he went back to the where I was, right in the triangle, and I knew, you know, if I go to if I punching him and hitting him or even start anything with my hands, you know, lock a triangle fighter. So I knew I need to get rid of this triangle in my head first, and then we can start working from there. None of the strikes, you know, bothered me. So I didn't really think I didn't think that he would ever stop the fight in that position unless I were to tap, you know, in the triangle. Eventually I sit back, so I sit all the way to my butt, and that is, once I sat back, that took everything out of the triangle. I had my chin underneath. It was no longer a choke anymore. My head and my arm were still stuck in there. Yeah, that's correct. And that's when he started like playing the bongos on my forehead. and I just knew I was just, you know, maybe in a second or two I was going to be able to strip the legs. I'd be in side control, and you know, I was up 2 rounds already. I just figured if I end the round on top, you know, that should be a nice W for me.
How much time was exactly left in that round before we go further?
I believe there was a minute and a half left.
There's about 90 seconds left. Now, immediately, you were upset immediately as soon as you were pulled on, revolting. What was the reaction that people were giving you? You know, your corner. What was the reaction immediately, because even after the fight, Flow Combat tweeted something out saying that it was a controversial call.
Yeah.
Seconds after, what was the response that you were seeing?
Well, the whole place was booing when they found out that he took me off. Everybody's like, if you look online, I mean, now it's a toss-up anyways, but, you know, and I try not to get involved with that shit too much anyways, but online, everybody's going crazy. Joe Lauzon was saying, like, he told Steve Rita, like, that he was basically blind, and and that was even a terrible call as an amateur fight. You know, that's what Joe said on Instagram, and like all these people, like, you know, people that people I don't know, and everybody's sending me messages telling me they thought I was robbed, and you know, it was pretty disappointing, man. To be honest, all that hard work, and then you know, like, if I have no problem losing a fight, you know, I would like to do it on, you know, my own terms. You know, if I was to tap out to a triangle, you know, I would have no problem with that. You know, if I was to tap out to the armbar, I'd have no problem. If you were to break my arm in armbar, I'd have no problem. You know, or if, you know, fuck it, if it went to the judge's decision, if for some reason I lost a split decision or something like that, I would still have no problem with that. But it was just fucking disappointing, man, for me to have be in that stage and get the fight called off for that.
So obviously it's got to be really upsetting to you. Like you said, there's a lot of drama going on. But did it make you feel a little better? I know that this is your pro career. It's not like football. It's not like, you know, next year you get a fresh record. This is on your record forever. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
did you at least feel a little bit better knowing that Flow Combat kind of had your back, that Joe Lauzon said something? I mean, what do you think, you know, what do you think will come of this? Because obviously it's going to say on your record, but everybody knows that it was a controversial fight. I mean,
yeah.
I'm trying not to be biased because I love Joe. I've been following Joe's career. I thought it'd be fair to have you on and get your side of the story, and I'm really interested to see what fans are going to say down below here in the comments and on Flow Combat. But, you know, what did it mean to you to see Joe Lauzon even say something? Did that make you feel a lot better?
Well, you know, I really think that, like, you know, that like, you see all these people that are so vocal about it, man, because they just know, you know, they know how much that I trained and put myself out there, that for something like, you know, just something like that really shouldn't have happened, you know. And I was talking to Steve too, and Steve's a good guy, man. You know, I don't have anything against him for it. You know, he has a job to do, and, you know, we're all humans, we all make mistakes, but fucking you know, it just was not a good call.
And you've obviously rewatched the fight. You know, when you're in that moment, it's got to be, you know, hard to remember what was going on. But when you rewatched it, we're even like, oh, damn, this was a mistake by the ref.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I watched it again, and I kept it. I was like, you know, when you're in that position, man, like when you're in a triangle, you have to defend the choke. You know, it doesn't matter. I don't think I don't think I'd ever be knocked out from anybody that's on their back. You know, they just can't generate the power. It's, you know, no matter how much you're hitting, it's not really doing anything. They're just, you know, when you're on your back, you can't generate a lot of power. It's just simple as that. You can't knock somebody out from the bottom and guard. I've never seen it happen in my life, you know. So just at the time being, I was just, all I thought I had to do was just get rid of the legs. You know, I would have never even, you know, didn't think twice about the punches. You know, I knew my goal was, one, get out of the choke, get in top position, and then start working from there. You know, I don't have any, like, bruises on my face, nothing. You know, you would think for a TKO, I'd at least have a bruise, but
now, Joe, people do say that Joe, you know, he was in that position last time. In his last fight, he was, you know, trying to get a submission, and he was trying to pepper the guy with a couple of shots from the top, but not the most powerful shots, and the ref noticed that before he was going to step in and call it off. Now, in your fight, he was landing, you know, a couple seconds before the fight was called off, he was landing some pretty nice elbows and whatnot, but when the moment happened, when he got pulled off, those punches did not seem like they were that hard, but I think the argument was that there were so many unanswered shots. So what do you have to say to people that are saying that?
Well, I mean, the thing is with the unanswered shots, it's like, so the thing, like, you're in the triangle, so you have to. So first things first, you just have to know that you have to get out of the triangle. You know, you can't just. I mean, I could take those shots all day because they weren't doing anything. You know, and even, you know, the ref is supposed to step into a fight to stop any damage. If there's no damage being done, it doesn't make any sense to stop the fight. You know, I just, like I said, I could have taken those shots all day. It's one thing if you're taking heavy leather, you know, obviously, like, it's good. You know, if I was taking heavy leather, then my number one thing would be to stop the punches, right, rather than the choke. But
yeah.
the choke was dangerous. The punches weren't dangerous, so I'm defending the choke rather than the punches. And that's kind of where it got a little tricky. I think the ref as well, I think Steve, earlier on in the night, I know there was maybe one or two fights that I heard went on for a bit too long. I'm not sure what the fights were. I think maybe one, Marty Navis's fight, I think I heard, might have gone a bit longer than it probably should have. And also, you know, like, I don't blame him or anything, but Joe was talking to the ref the whole time, saying, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. You know, and he just kept, you know, he kept talking to him, you know, and it's obviously putting pressure on Steve. You know, maybe the fight went a little too long before. He had a little pressure, and he just made the wrong call.
Which could happen. We see that in you know, even on the biggest stages, even inside the UFC, you feel like the refs, they feel that pressure, which is why, you know, something needs to be done in those situations. But what can be done? And let's be real, man. How upset are you that this happened? And what would you like to see done? Would you want a rematch, or are you going to just move on from it? How upset are you, man? Because it's got to be devastating. This is a guy who was about to be in the UFC. You could have had a nice win over him, and gained even more respect than you already have, because people were saying before this fight that you were going to be the guy that cancels Joe out. Even before he was on the Ultimate Fighter, people wanted to see this fight happen. So, man, honestly, how upset are you about this?
You know, man, so I'm upset about it, but, you know, like I say, I mean, we just got to keep pushing forwards, and it was a tough camp for me, and, you know, like, I mean, well, tough being as it was, you know, a lot of hard work, and I just don't think that it showed off the way that I wanted it to, with a loss like that. A rematch would be great, man. I'd be happy for a rematch at some point. You know, like I said, I think, you know, there's still things I do have to improve on, you know, and I can still grow from the experience. I can still pick some stuff out. I can still become a better fighter from it. So, you know, I take the positives for what it is. I can still grow, you know, and, oh man, it's just a kind of shitty situation. It happened the way it did.
I know you can't go back in time, but if you had to change something, what would it have been to prevent that from happening? The situation.
Yeah. So really, like, that was my big mistake in the fight, was keeping my underhook when he was taking my back for a little too long. I was planning on passing towards the side, and that once he slapped on the initial triangle, man, it was tight at points. You know, there was points where it was tight, but you know what? When I'm fighting, I'm a crazy animal in there, so I wasn't, you know, I'm sure as hell not tapped into a joke at the time being, unless I'm actually going out, you know. And I kept squirming my way, and I got to the point where I had my neck out of the choke. He was still triangled up. The long legs really got his arm and his head in there, but well, my arm and my head in there. But yeah, I guess I would just change that one thing, maybe work on that a little bit more, and never got caught in the first place. I would have never been would have just been a win.
Now, man, moving forward, what is the game plan? Are you trying to get on that next Cage Titan card?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to just take a couple more. I'll try to take a couple more fights. I think my record right now is not showing the quality of the fighter that I am. I think like I had two occasions right now where the fights could have been much different had the refs made a better call, and one being a DQ that I received last November, and then this one being the second one. So I think the idea we're just gonna rack up some wins and then maybe try for like the contender show or work from there. But I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing right now.
And man, like I said before, Joe was showing you nothing but respect when he came on the show. Did you guys talk at all after the fight?
Yeah, we talked briefly. Like I said, dude, I got nothing but respect for the kid too. I don't have no hard feelings towards him. I don't think it's I don't think it's his fault at all. And like if I was in the same position, I'd be yelling at the ref too to stop a fight. So. I know it's he put up a good fight, man. We had a great fight. It was a good scrap. He's a tough kid, and I had fun in there. But like legit, the whole world's been coming up to me afterwards, telling me, we wish that stoppage didn't happen. His coaches, his teammates, the promoter, Pulver, like every single person after the fight was saying, it was stopped a bit early. We wish you could have gone in there and continued the fight and blah blah blah. But I guess that's in the past. So
even Mitch Raposo, he came on right after Joe, and he was like, even for Joe Giannetti to have a win like that, it can't feel good that people are doubting it. So I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch or something, but it just sucks, man, that these things happen in the sport. It happens too often. We saw it in the main event fight with Cejudo versus Dillashaw. But
yeah, absolutely.
To your defense, you had people like Full Combat coming back to your side and being like, reaching out to the MMA community to show people, raise awareness, and maybe that same ref will think twice about stepping in a little bit too soon, even if the couple fights before that went on a bit too long. It's a learning experience. Unfortunately, it comes at the price of on a fighter's record like yours, and it's got to sting. And that's why I wanted to have you on the show. Moving forward, before we let you go, man, I've been catching you checking out Pure Evil MMA for a while now. How did you hear of us?
Sir. Yeah, big fan of you, Ed.
Thank you. How did you hear of us to start?
Shit, man. I think I started following you guys right about, man, I think it might have been after like a CES show or something like that. And I just, I like your style. I like how you did your podcast and stuff. And I started following from there.
Well, it's been a long time coming.
Big fan, man. I appreciate you doing what you do, helping us fighters out, giving us a little bit of a voice, and letting people know what's up.
Well, I thought it would only be fair to have you on the show, and I appreciate all the support. I will be at the next Cage Titans card, so hopefully if you are on it, we can talk and maybe catch up outside. You can get on the vlog. I've had so many people hit me up trying to get on the vlogs that I do at the actual events. It's a lot of fun, so hopefully we'll catch up then. At this point in the interview, I like to do this with all the fighters. If you have any sponsors, shout-outs, anything at all, the floor is now all yours, Connor.
Thank you, brother. So shout out to all my coaches, training partners, my girlfriend, everybody who supports me. I had an awesome crowd over at the Memorial Hall the other day. Probably sold over 100 and something tickets just with everybody, and the support was just awesome. And you guys are the people that help me do what I can do out there. I wouldn't be able to do it without all you guys. So definitely big shout out for all that.
Hey, really quick, I know you got to go, but why do you call yourself Bare Knuckle Barry? Are you interested in moving forward with doing Bare Knuckle? Because it's been blowing up. At least last year it blew up a lot.
Yeah, I think Bare Knuckle's pretty sketchy right now, to be honest. But, the whole, well, as of right now, until something can pop up. I definitely, I loved boxing, man. I was a boxer as a kid. I used to be in the gym all the time, and I was a boxer and I was a hockey player as well. So I like to get in some scraps in hockey, and it just came up. One of my buddies ended up once I started fighting, they were like, "Oh, you're Bare Knuckle Barry," and
that's perfect.
And it just kind of stuck from there. So we just kept it.
That's what you need at this day and age. You got to go in there. You got to put on exciting fights, and you also need to be your own character. And you fit that mold. And we're looking forward to what happens next with you. I want to thank you so much for joining me here on Pure Evil MMA. Last but not least, man, enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk to you sooner than later.
Hell yeah, brother. Nice to talk with you, Eddie.
Have a good one.
All right, you too, bro.
There you guys go, Connor Berry. And you know what, guys? You can't call me biased anymore. I don't want to hear that I'm biased. If there is any situation that comes up and you guys think I'm being biased, call me the fuck out. Call me the fuck out, and I will do what I just did. We had to get both sides of the story. We had to get both sides of the story. If you were tuning in a little bit late, I know we're doing this live. If you are tuning in the podcast, thank you so much. Make sure to subscribe down below. But, guys, it's only right to hear what both guys have to say about a situation like this. In a controversial fight, with so much riding in your career, like I said, in this sport, it's not NFL, it's not baseball, it's not basketball. You don't get a fresh slate at the beginning of 2019, the beginning of 2020. These fights stick. The fighters need to be heard. Something needs to be changed. Even if it sucks for Joe that Flow Combat said what they said, you have to be happy that there are people out there saying something and not letting it slide under the rug. Maybe next time that ref will think twice about calling a fight too earlier, calling a fight late. But it happens all the time. Between that, the judging, there's a bunch of things that need to be changed in the sport. And you got a regional promotion like Cage Titans. I have nothing against this ref. I know this ref very well. He's never made a mistake. Oh, these fucking dogs. Bro, you need to chill, man. You need to chill. You need to chill. Guys, really quick. You're probably like, what dog is this? We know all your dogs, Ed. What dog is this? Well, my mom's best friend just died last week, and we actually adopted this dog right here, and his name is Finn. So Oscar's a little jealous. They're barking at each other, and that's what you've been hearing last night and today on the stream. But, guys, I hope that you appreciate me going and getting both sides of this story. Let me know what you think down below. Go rewatch the fight. They reposted on flowcombat.com. I'll retweet it. Also, guys, before I let you go, the website is up, pureevilmma.com, where you can find this interview and all the other interviews. We also are bringing on new journalists, young and hungry journalists. We'll have live event coverage. We'll be doing news updates. We'll have all the podcast links between Pure Evil MMA and Gloves Off with James McSweeney. And, Jesus, man. There's a lot to look forward to on the calendar year for Pure Evil MMA, with events coming up, with interviews coming up. And I want to ask you guys one thing before I go. Who do you want to hear next on Pure Evil MMA? Let me know down below in the comments, guys. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA. White knuckles to the end. And remember, guys, without evil, there's no purity. Behave yourselves.